I hope I'm audible. I hope I'm visible. All students who are able to listen to me, I hope I'm audible and visible. Good afternoon to all. Good afternoon. So I hope all of you were able to attend or watch the recording of the Sunday's class where we had talked about the course completion and how we are going to take it forward. Most of the things which I had also requested, अगर कोई topic आपको लग रहा है कि रह गया है, most of the topics have been covered. अब topics बचे हैं pollution, environmental degradation, such topics. So these topics, an invitation to all of you, people who are looking at environment preparation. We are looking at your environment classes starting from tomorrow evening, so you can join in on those GS classes. That will help you more. Is that okay? Yes. So how was the test? Did you look at the paper 1 and paper 3? Paper 1, as I talked about yesterday already, I have put some questions, and people who are in MMP, उन्हीं लोगों को answer booklet मिला है. So answer booklet will be shared with the geography optional students also. So geography optional students को मैंने भी share नहीं किया है. You can send me a message. So I'll do that because वो MMP में हमने डाला है. So not everyone is in MMP. So people who want to write the answers, you can do that. So in fact, I thought, why not take upon this challenge in the class itself, that do we know the answers or not, and maybe after the class you can sit down, give yourself maybe 45 minutes, or if you want to read more, do something and find out the answers and then write the answers. So that will be a good writing practice for all of you also. कि GS के answers आप लिख पा रहे हैं, नहीं लिख पा रहे. And I'm sure you've also looked at some of the things which I shared for the geography club. And regarding the geography informal discussion group, that will depend on your performance in these answers. How do you write them? Is everyone okay? So I thought of looking at the questions only. Questions ही क्यों ना देख लें पहले. So let us see today. Let us look at the questions itself. So today we can talk something about GS1, and maybe tomorrow's class we can talk about GS3 also. Yes, so we'll get a good opportunity to talk on that. So A to Z batch is beginning on 7th of October. So people you may be in touch with who are looking for geography optional, you can tell them that 7th October new batch begins, though the new batch begins with a foundation. 22nd September we are starting with the foundation once again. आरती बोल रहे हैं कि सर एमएमपी के स्टूडेंट्स को ही लिखने नहीं, आंसर्स आपको भी लिखने. ज्योग्राफी ऑप्शनल, आई डिड नॉट वांट टू ओपन इट ऑन द ग्रुप because on the group there are many students who are not my students, and then it becomes a little difficult to check and evaluate all the copies. So isliye I thought of offering you this opportunity that geography optional students can do this. So we are talking about contemporary issues. I thought of bringing the paper today. So today's class, let us try and see GS 2022 paper 1. GS 2022 paper 1 geography questions. So how would you rate them? Good, bad, ugly? And do you have the wherewithal to write answers on this? I thought of a quick discussion on that. I thought of a quick discussion on that, and I thought we can also bring in those topics. So, which one do you feel you did not have the answer? Which one do you feel you did not have the answer? उसमें कैसे survive करना है वो भी बताना चाहिए. Yes or no? नंबर 2 का आंसर नहीं है. ठीक है, कलर कोडेड वेदर वार्निंग जो है ये छोड़ना पड़ सकता है. ओके, व्हाट एल्स, व्हाट अदर्स वी कैन डू ऑल ऑफ देम. नंबर 6 कैसा है? हाउ इज नंबर 6? एक इज नॉट मच कंटेंट ऑन नंबर 7. शर्म आनी चाहिए कि यार नॉट मच कंटेंट ऑन नंबर 7. यू नो दिस शोज कि यू हैव नॉट अंडरस्टूड ज्योग्राफी यार. Such a shameful thing यार. Everyone, did we talk about the geopolitics of Indian Ocean? Did we talk about this thing, Malacca Strait and इधर the Babel Mandap? हमें बताया था पूरा geopolitics, geoeconomics, choke points सब कुछ बताया. बोला सर इस पे कंटेंट नहीं. शर्म आनी चाहिए यार. ज्योग्राफी ऑप्शनल स्टूडेंट आफ्टर दिस थिंग चम्मच से मुंह में डालेंगे तब वो होगा. पढ़े लिख के लोग हो यार. मतलब दैट्स रियली फनी. ठीक है, जब वर्ल्ड ज्योग्राफी पढ़ते हैं, वर्ल्ड ज्योग्राफी में डिड वी नॉट सी द इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ सुएज कैनाल? सुएज कैनाल इज लैंड लिंक ना, उसी में से बना है. एंड पीपल हु डन माय फाउंडेशन में बता देता हूं इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ दैट इस्थमस ऑफ पनामा, जिसके थ्रू हमने पनामा कैनाल निकाली. बोला सर इस पे कंटेंट नहीं है. मैंने जिसको कंटेंट नहीं लगा, एनीवन हु फील्स यू डोंट हैव कंटेंट फॉर दिस, कांग्रेचुलेशंस, यूपीएससी मेंस हटा देगा भाई, फेल ही कर देगा. सो इस क्वेश्चन नंबर इज 7. यार मुझे नहीं पता, मुझे तो बहुत ही क्लियर यहाँ पर है, जहां पर डेटा फंसेगा वो है क्वेश्चन नंबर 6 और क्वेश्चन नंबर 2. प्रशांत इज सेइंग सर आर्टिफिशियल रबर भी करना है. हाँ बिल्कुल करना, आर्टिफिशियल भी करना, क्यों नहीं करना? if you know that, so definitely that will be there, no doubt about that. True. तो पहला तो ये है कि like we are looking at students talking about, we can write the answer. और किसी ने एमएमपी में लिखा है, मैंने उसी दिन आंसर लिख दिया सर शाम को, मैं भेजूं क्या चेक करने के लिए? क्यों भेजेगा भाई? why? No strange thing, why would you send it? आपने उस पर पढ़ाई नहीं किया, कुछ सोचा नहीं. That's what we are talking about. So in my question paper which I have written in paper, question number 7 is on IMD. यार तुम्हारे क्वेश्चन से क्या, यहाँ पर जो क्वेश्चन है उसकी बात हो रही है ना. तुमने क्या लिखा क्या नहीं लिखा doesn't matter. It is about do you understand or not. ठीक है, तो ट्राई करें इसे. Let us take them one by one. And as I said, I will be sharing the answer booklet to the people. You can request me. So people who are listening to me on recording also, you can send in your request that sir, I want to write this answer and I'll submit it by 2 p.m. tomorrow. So जिन लोगों को लिखना हो and you are not in MMP, but you really feel that like you would want to give it a try, you can. ठीक है. So even people who are not in MMP, then there are many people in MMP who need not be in MMP. तो उनका भी वो भी filter होने वाला है. First filter is whether they are able to write or not. So that is going to happen. Describe the characteristics and types of primary rocks. अब ये if you remember, ये हम foundation में करते हैं. We talk about this in foundation class. Foundation, so people who have not done foundation, 20 seconds we are starting foundation. So first is this primary rock. So I start my classes with rock cycle. And when we are talking about this, is the first step when I understand and explain my students what is lithosphere. Remember that Earth is the outer rigid layer, rocky layer. When we talk about that, so now what are these rocks? What are their different types? So this is what we talk in that discussion. And in that discussion, we see the first rock to form are the primary rocks. Primary means igneous rocks. So this question was types and characteristics of igneous rocks. बस इतनी सी बात हो रही थी. Types and characteristics of igneous rocks. If you open your lecture on primary, on your foundation, there also it will be there 10 marks में पूछा है. 10 marks में पूछा है. तो characteristics क्या होंगे? What are the characteristics? Characteristics of igneous rocks. So Misha, we are talking about they are the first rock to form, first rock in the rock cycle. They are formed by the solidification of lava outside or magma. True. They are crystalline. They are crystalline in nature. अब ये कोई लिख रहा है they are metal rich. Why are they metal rich? Why are they metal rich? Can there be basaltic lava? Is it rich in metal? Is it rich in metal? तो ये तो कोई नहीं है जबरदस्ती कि हम उसमें मेटल डालेंगे तो गलत बात है. So crystalline rock है, ठीक है. Solidification of lava and magma. भाई characteristics लिख रहा हूँ. First rock to form. अर्थ इसी से बनी. Solidification of lava, crystalline in nature, and इसमें you can say the primordial crust. Later on lithosphere. Both oceanic and continental are formed because of this. इधर आप लिख सकते हैं ये basalt से होता है, this is basaltic and this is granitic and dacitic. Simple question. If you can't see this, तो characteristics लिखोगे कैसे? How would you brainstorm on this, boy? If you are not able to see this, they are solidification. So as a result, they form crystalline. Crystal size, and other properties will depend on rate of cooling. If you've read NCERT, if you've read Savinsing, you know that some magma cools slowly and some magma cools very fast. So crystal size is accordingly. That's what we are talking about. Okay. Generally, they are non-fossiliferous. So they don't have fossils in them. Do we get that? Is everyone okay? So yeah, characteristics we are looking at, they have numerous minerals. As a result, varied chemical and physical properties like color, pH, etc. Okay. Srishti is saying non-stratified. So यहाँ पर ही non-fossiliferous है ना? Non-stratified इधर आ जाएगा. ठीक है? Yes, they are hard and resist erosion. They are hard and resist erosion, and you can also say these are the original rocks. But tell me, for a 10 marker, do we have sufficient in this? अब diagram आना चाहिए, कोई diagram भी हो सकता है. If not diagram, then just a box of examples. And since it is geographical, you should say Deccan lava trap. Deccan lava trap is made up of basalt. Yes, oceanic crust is made up of basalt. You can also say mid-oceanic ridge is made up of basalt. कर सकते हैं. So if you are doing that, you can very well show that these things are there. Do we get that? Now, what are their types? ये types क्या हैं? Types भी तो है ना? There are two parts of this. What are the types? Quickly, what are the types? क्या करोगे इसमें types में? एक और part भी तो है question का. What are the types? That is what my question is. Intrusive and extrusive, perfect. देखो acidic and basic अरे भाई. Intrusive and extrusive. Which is bigger one? हम कुछ इसीलिए बेटा बता रहे हैं कि पढ़ते तो सभी हैं, है ना? डिग्री तो सभी के पास आ जाती है. There is a difference between information and wisdom. That is why I am doing that. That is why I want to check before putting people into any group. Are they still about, you can say red and green? Color ही तो करना है. Why are you saying acidic and basic? Why intrusive and extrusive? This is more geographical. Yes or no? Acidic and basic तो हमने देख लिया, silica content से है उनका. True or not? So we're talking about based on silica, we can say based on physical properties, that's there. But यहाँ पर definitely intrusive and extrusive. Why am I saying that? Because you have a scope of a diagram. Do you understand why people will not pass this examination? Why some people will pass? क्योंकि कुछ लोग वहाँ पे जाके acidic basic खेल के आएंगे. Examiner will say it is right, but there are people who are very purposeful. Yeah, what kind of diagrams? What kind of illustrations? What extra can I show the examiner on this? और ये बुक में नहीं है भाई, ये brainstorming है. अगर बैच एंड में भी आप brainstorming नहीं कर सकते तो दिक्कत. True or not? Is everyone with me on this? तो ये आपके लिए इंफॉर्मेशन होगी. डायग्राम क्या होगा? So query है sir, is the GIDG group test this Monday or next Monday? There is no group test called GIDG group test. इसी में आपका सब दिख जाएगा. This I have given you these questions of GS1 and GS3 के आंसर्स आपको करने होंगे to bring wisdom in your answers. मैं पहले बता रहा हूँ, बेकार में मेरा टाइम वेस्ट होगा उनको चेक करने में. Intrusive rocks crystallize below the Earth's surface. They have large crystal because they cool slowly. Diorite, granite are examples. Extrusive erupt onto the surface. Smaller crystal because they cool faster. Cooling rate, few rocks are there. Basalt, tuff, and pumice are examples of extrusive igneous rocks. You can very well do that. ठीक है. So कुछ diagram भी बनाना चाहिए. So this is what I would want to look at. Now you have the content. Now you have the wisdom. So somebody in MMP said, sir, I took after the examination 12 o'clock I got the paper and 2 to 5 p.m. I wrote the whole paper, sir. I want to submit that. That boy has been submitting for last 1 year. He has been blocked already. वो कुछ भी लिखता है हिंदी इंग्लिश टूटे में, बट क्योंकि प्री में टीचर चेक कर रहा है तो भाई मैं भेजूंगा. Not interested यार. ये सब ये क्लास भी लेनी है, उसके बाद भी और भी काम करना है. मॉर्निंग से we have been working. Why should I check a paper and tell me how many teachers are checking actually? Why should I check a paper of someone who's not even deserving, who's not even put any effort? बस पेन लिया है 3 घंटे बैठ के लिखा है और 1 साल से बता. इसलिए बता रहा हूँ, I don't want to be disappointed checking कि भाई उसमें आंसर ही नहीं होगा, इसलिए डिस्कस कर रहा हूँ. So people who want to take it as an opportunity that you are writing an answer also और content भी एक बार देख लेंगे. So when people tell me, sir, it takes a lot of time, कितना टाइम लगा ये सब करने में, brainstorming करने में? 5 minutes to think, yes or no? 5 minutes to think and this thing, and एक अगर इंटरनेट खोल लिया, open internet site, visit a site visit कितना लेगा? Site visit will take another 5 minutes. So total 10 minutes are gone in this answer. Get it? So if you do for 8 answers, everyone, if you do this for 8 answers, how much time will it take? 80 to 90 minutes? Yes, 3 hours. You are beginners. You don't have the same preparation as people who are writing mains. But if you spend 80 to 90 minutes, 3 hours in looking at the content, then throw the content away. Give yourself the time which is given in the test. 45 minutes में 4 answers लिख दीजिए. हो सकता है 30 minutes में कर दीजिए. That's amazing. If you can do it 30 minutes. Again, first let us get the quality right. Because मैं सच में very clearly लौटा दूंगा अगर आंसर मार्क नहीं है. I have no obligation as such to check lousy answers. I am तो very simple on that. No lousy work. भाई आपको मेरे काम का कोई इज्जत नहीं है तो मैं आपके काम की क्यों इज्जत करूं? Because you wasted some pen and some paper. ये वाला definitely challenge था. So I really want to know, like these coaching institutes which are putting on their websites and all those things. That questions came from my test. The only question is this: everyone will be on this. Are you getting the whole video? Everyone is watching me. Is the audio video fine now? Okay, perfect. So I'm saying coaching institutes which are claiming, like we taught what is, this issue, that issue. भाई ये question है. अगर आपने किया तो बात करो. बाकी तो सभी लोग लिख देंगे. Yes or no? True or not? If there is a challenge lies. Did you talk about this color-coded weather warning system for cyclone meteorological department recently? अब बोलो मैंने Deccan Trap पढ़ा था. Geography पढ़ा था तो Deccan Trap तो पढ़ाएगा ही ना. If somebody is teaching geography, तो Deccan Trap will come. Yes or no? Wind energy, come on यार. Wind energy. If you are reading environment, तो wind energy तो आएगा ही. Yes or no? हमने wind energy पढ़ाया word by word वहीं से आया. तो तुमने नहीं, सारी दुनिया ने पढ़ाया. The issue was with number 2. So and it was not just the colors. They said the meaning of the colors also. And these are called fact-based questions. Do you get that? So many people ask me, sir, in the examination, should we do all the questions? If we do not know all, should we try and write something over there? So my answer is that if it is an opinion-based question, you must not leave it. Do you get that? If it is an opinion-based question, you must not leave it. But if it is a factual question and for which you have no idea about the fact, then I'm very, very sure that you should be doing that. Is everyone with me on this? So discuss the meaning of the color-coded weather warning on cyclone-prone areas given in India Meteorological Department. Even I have not talked of this in the class. Though, as I told you, because of my career at sea, knowing all these codes of the India Meteorological Department, I thought, they apply more towards meteorology. You would not need it, but the examiner did surprise us to know that also. So I want to tell you, it is India Meteorological Department, which is the forecasting agency, which is supposed to monitor the development of a cyclone, and accordingly keep all the stakeholders, be it the coastal population, be it the weather forecasters, be it the disaster relief forces, they all should be kept well informed about the development of a cyclone. Accordingly, the stages of a cyclone are identified, and for those stages, they have given color codes. Do we understand? So when we are looking at discuss the meaning of color-coded weather warning system for cyclone-prone areas, it is very clear that cyclone is a disaster, and it is always better to maintain that state of disaster readiness. And India Meteorological Department is a very big instrument in that. UPSC has asked about India Meteorological Department and it's working before also. So, a question आया था, how are cyclones named? Remember that? So, how do we assign names to the cyclones? So, such questions does show that the examiner, when it comes to these agencies, may go into those technicalities. Less expected, but it did come. So, let us look at those systems which are being created. The cyclone warnings are issued as in 4 stages. Now, these 4 stages can later on be turned into color codes. Okay? The first warning, known as pre-cyclone watch, it is issued 72 hours, can I say 3 days, in advance of the contains early warning about development of a disturbance, not a cyclone. It is a disturbance. It is likely to intensify into a cyclone and likely to experience adverse weather. So the intention is not no unnecessary panic, but no casual approach also. Is everyone with me? So let's be alert. It is about being alert and being cautious. So alert and cautious is the mantra for India Meteorological Department. So 3 days in advance, when they see a system is getting intensified, what is the meaning of intensification of a system? Everyone, I want you to start using this language of intensification. Intensification kya hota hai? Remember the stages from a tropical depression to a storm to a cyclone. Remember this? और भी अगर इसका सीक्वेंस देखेंगे तो यहाँ पर आता है एक डॉट ईस्टर्ली वेव्स, synoptic low. Remember this? So when a cyclone is intensifying, the low pressure is intensifying. So there are stages in that. So from the 3 days when it is suspected that this cyclone might be like that, then they do this. Is everyone okay? Second stage, a warning known as the cyclone alert. This is 2 days. 2 days in advance, commencement of adverse weather in the coastal area. So this is about those cyclone-prone areas. Now we are going to higher level cyclone alert. Pehle pre-cyclone watch. Pre-cyclone watches, we are keeping a watch, but now the alert has been created. It contains information on the location and intensity of the storm, like direction, movement, intensification. Coastal district likely to experience the adverse weather. So all those things, advice given to fishermen, public, media, disaster managers, everyone is informed about this. Get that? So this is a big stage. Cyclone alert is a big stage, and for cyclone alert we have a color also. Yellow is the color. Is everyone okay? So when we are pre-cyclone watch, no color, but when they see a cyclone is developing, that's the time when they assign a color also, and the color here is yellow. Now third one, after an alert, we have a serious warning. This is just 1 day. 1 day to go. Expected commencement of adverse weather, landfall. Remember landfall? Landfall is the point where the cyclone is expected to hit. These warnings are issued 3 hours. Now the cyclone is about to hit and it will turn. So we have to be very precise. 3 hourly interval giving the latest position of the landfall. I don't know how many of you monitored that. I remember the last was Taute that I monitored, which was on the west coast. And this cyclone warning में coast पर क्या लग जाता है? Orange is the color. Okay? Orange is the color, and post landfall outlook. The fourth stage is issued 12 hours in advance that it is about to strike now. The likely direction of movement of cyclone after it hits the place where it touches land, and what will happen in the interior areas. This is all red. Do we get that? Different color codes as mentioned below are being used since 2006, and they are put in the cyclone warning bulletins in National Disaster Management. So this is a part of that also. Everyone remember we had a topic, contemporary issues, disasters. Can we learn from that? Can we add this contemporary issues, disasters? What is there? The warning system. So if you did not have the content, did I share that? अब इतना content थोड़ा सा हमें पता होना चाहिए था. अगर नहीं पता है तो yes, definitely it is going to be a challenge. Do we get that? जल्दी से everyone. Now let us see. What map or what thing will you make? Illustration क्या आएगा इसमें? Everyone think about it. How would you illustrate this? Quickly. आकाश बोला कोस्टल जोन सुखेंगे. बेटा कोस्टल जोन तो किसी में भी बनाएगा ना. इसको वो करना है वेदर वार्निंग को. Can we draw map of India showing cyclone approaching according to that right color belt? तो बेटा ऐसा तो नहीं किसी जोन पर होगा. Different case studies through spider web. क्या केस स्टडी डालोगे? ऐसे हवा में मत बोलो, बना दो so that I also understand. रवि की कल्पना कुछ भी बोल दें. स्पाइडर डायग्राम कलर स्कीम के बना सकते हैं. अरे भाई सुनो, स्पाइडर डायग्राम पीपल, ये बॉक्स बना देना. अच्छा मैं कलर स्कीम के बॉक्स, अरे ये बॉक्स है 1 2 3, ये तो बॉक्स डायग्राम है. हाँ नेहा इज टॉकिंग अबाउट साइक्लोन प्रोन एरियाज ऑफ द मैप. आप क्वेश्चन में देखिए ना, आपका ये यहाँ पर है. लुक एट द क्वेश्चन. स्पाइडर डायग्राम में क्या वो दिमाग लगाएगा यार. ये तो बॉक्स है स्टेज ऑफ वार्निंग कलर कोड. सो कैन आई ब्रिंग माय साइक्लोन प्रोन एरिया मैप? सिंपल. आई एम नॉट लुकिंग एट जिम्नास्टिक्स. जबरदस्ती आप कर रहे हैं. सो साइक्लोन प्रोन एरिया और मैप ऑफ इंडिया जब आप बनाते हैं, तो साइक्लोन प्रोन एरियाज, तो आप इसमें अपना एरियाज को आपने सपोज आपने डिफाइन किया. Get that? इसमें अपने पास ट्रैक लिख दी. यू कैन राइट द नेम्स आल्सो. Names like Amphan and all those things. उसका एक ट्रैक बना दिया. told you as a case study also, and then you say Taute. You can say यहाँ पर इसने landfall किया. You can say landfall, and after this you can say red, and before landfall you can say orange. Make sense? ये तो इनोवेशन भी है. सर मैं डब्बा बनाऊंगा सर, ये ना ऐसा होता है, ये वो. मुझे तो समझ में नहीं आया. स्पाइडर वेब कोई मजाक करने के लिए थोड़ी दिया. True or not? So when we are making अम्फन का भी हम यहाँ पे डालेंगे कि साइक्लोन जब लैंडफॉल करता है, we'll talk about landfall. Pre landfall, what is it? Orange, because ये तो कर चुके ना. Post landform, what is it? Red, and these are the colors. Yes. हम येलो पे जाएंगे. येलो तो बहुत एरिया है ना. येलो एरिया तो सारा इस टाइम पे रहेगा. You can also want if you say yellow. अलर्ट में चल रहा था, यहाँ पर येलो है. Now is it in any of the books? No, it is not in any of the books. अच्छी बात है. क्या आपने लिया? साइक्लोन प्रोन. टाइटल क्या देंगे? साइक्लोन प्रोन एरियाज and past tracks of cyclones. Is it relevant to the question asked? Is it about brainstorming? अभी बताइए. स्पाइडर वेब बनाना इधर. और स्पाइडर वेब क्या ही बना रहा है सर? कलर स्कीम का स्पाइडर वेब बनाऊंगा. इनोवेशन कर रहे हो? मजाक क्यों कर रहे हो? Who's asking you to make मजाक? True or not? तो मजाक मत करो यार. Are we done? So this is what GIDG will be about. GIDG will be looking for people who are not just mechanical, who would think also. Discuss natural resource potential of Deccan Trap. अब होने को this question is an easy one. This question is an easy one, but personally speaking, इसके लिए क्या लिखोगे यार? How would you approach this? Quickly, everyone. How would you approach this? मिनरल्स क्या है? उपेंद्र बताओ तो सही मुझे भी. मिनरल से तो आपने बहुत बढ़िया तोड़ के लिख दिया मिनरल. एक बार बताओ तो सही. उपेंद्र अभी लिख के दिखा दो मुझे 4 मिनरल क्या है. पता तो चले मुझे. What are the minerals that you're talking of, Upendra? What are the minerals that you are talking of? ऐसा लिख तो दिया है ना. मैंने आंसर लिख दिया. आंसर लिखने वाले बहुत घूम रहे हैं. What are the minerals that you're talking about? Iron and steel industry. Deccan Trap में आकाश कौन सी iron and steel industry? Deccan Trap में which one? I did not get it. Iron and steel कौन सी है? गोल्ड कहाँ पे उपेंद्र बताओ तो. And these gold people, these iron and steel people, मुझे भी तो पता चले. मुझे पता ही नहीं यार. I'm surprised. I'm seriously surprised. मैंने पढ़ाया लगता है उपेंद्र को तो. Mumbai, Nasik, Pune region. This is the region of compound flow of magma. उसके बाद जो simple flow हुआ था, that was somewhere here. This is simple flow. और थोड़ा सा यहाँ पर भी आया था. Get that? जब हमारा हॉटस्पॉट से वो बना. हॉटस्पॉट से बना. दिस इज बसाल्टिक लावा. कुछ इफ यू रिमेंबर 75 मिलियन ईयर्स अगो टू 50 70 to 55 ऐसे कुछ है. कुछ इसी तरह का है. 70 to 55 if I remember correctly. कुछ 15 मिलियन ईयर्स it was there. 4 किलोमीटर थिक लावा. 2 किलोमीटर थिक लावा. ये सब ऐसा था. अब इसमें आयरन एंड स्टील किधर आए मुझे बता दो. ये लिखेगा आंसर सबमिट करने वाले. आयरन एंड स्टील भी लिखेगा. पढ़ाया तो सेम ही टीचर ने बट लिखेगा क्या करें. ठीक है. इसी को हमने ऐसा भी देखा था कि ये बना तो ऐसा था स्टार्टिंग में. This is how it was, and now what has happened is because of river erosion, it has become broken into ridge valley. ऐसा कुछ बताया था. अजंता, हरिश्चंद्र, बालाघाट, अजंता, हरिश्चंद्र, बालाघाट, सतमाला, if you remember. इसी में एक रिफ्ट वैली भी हो गई. There was a rift valley which was created over here. नर्मदा सोन रिफ्ट वैली. नर्मदा सोन रिफ्ट वैली. अब ये तो रीजन है. मुझे बताओ इसमें आयरन एंड स्टील किधर है, गोल्ड किधर है? आई रियली वांट टू नो. गोल्ड तो मारा. मैंने नहीं पढ़ाया भाई, मुझे नहीं पता है. दे आर कॉल्ड ट्रैप्स बिकॉज दे हैव इरोडेड एंड फॉर्म्ड स्टेप लाइक फीचर्स. तो उसको ट्रैप बोलते हैं. ठीक है. तो मैग्मा फ्लो कैसे आया? शीट मैग्मा आया. एक शीट आया, उसके ऊपर दूसरा शीट ऑफ मैग्मा, तीसरा शीट ऑफ मैग्मा. सो मैग्मा आउटपोर्ड इन द फॉर्म ऑफ शीट्स. एज अ रिजल्ट इसको ट्रैप कहा जाता है. जर्मन वर्ड ट्रैपल. ऐसा है. तो पहले तो क्वेश्चन समझ में आना चाहिए हमको कि व्हाट इज दिस अबाउट. अब इसमें अगर आपको कुछ मिल गया है तो वेरी डिफिकल्ट समझाना कि क्या क्या मिल गया है, बट मुझे नहीं लगता कि ऐसा कुछ और है हमारे पास. Now the question is saying the natural resource potential of Deccan Trap. Natural resource potential of Deccan Trap. I hope you understand. Answer writing में भाई दिमाग लगेगा. मेंस क्यों नहीं लोग पास कर पाते? I don't know whether you realize or not. This is a major natural region. कौन सा major natural region है? जल्दी बताओ. आपके 33 में से. That is the answer. Which major natural region is this? Which major natural region is this? Number बता दो जल्दी से. People who've done that 33 में तो 33 से direct question आया है. Out of 33, there is a direct question about major natural region. बताओ कौन सा डेक्कन ट्रैप आप चेक कर लो, उसमें दिया हुआ है. चेक. ये जो गोल्ड वाले घूम रहे हो यहाँ पर और आयरन एंड स्टील लगा रहा है. यस, ओपन देखो तो सही यार. मैं ऐसे नहीं कराता हूँ. ब्रेक थ्रू इसलिए नहीं कराता कि यहाँ कर बात करोगे. हाईली मेटामॉर्फोज्ड ब्लैक सॉइल रीजन, ये तो पता नहीं भाई. हाईली मेटामॉर्फोज्ड ब्लैक सॉइल रीजन सब लोगों ने 23 किया है उसको. सब लोगों ने 23 किया है. ऐसा कोई मेटामॉर्फोसिस करने का जरूरत नहीं था, बिकॉज ये तो ऊपर है. अब क्यों 22 कह रहा है वो? अगर वो भी नहीं समझ सकते तो यार व्हाट कैन आई टॉक अबाउट दिस. तो पहला नेचुरल रिसोर्स जो मुझे यहाँ पर दिखाई देता है बसाल्ट है. द फर्स्ट रिसोर्स दैट वी हैव इज बसाल्ट. ठीक है. अब इसमें क्या होता है, बहुत सारे ओलिवीन, pyroxene, these minerals are there. Get that? Now these minerals are of no use to you. आप इसका कुछ नहीं कर सकते. What will you say? This basalt over a period of time has got eroded and converted into black soil. ये मेरे लिए natural resource हो गया. Is black soil a natural resource for me? True. मतलब I don't know why would I write gold and iron and steel until unless I've really consumed some substance abuse किया हुआ है तो पता नहीं. I would not do that. So my answer would be black soil. My answer would be black soil. My answer would also be this, that rivers have cut through it. So black soil plus water, two natural resources. Black soil plus water. True. And because of these natural resources, what happens? It gives me an agricultural potential, but agriculture is not natural resource, so I would say black soil and water. I would also want to say that natural resource potential does not mean that it is in plenty. I would say is limited. Black soil is good soil, but availability of water is very limited. This area, the rivers are what? Rivers are seasonal rain-fed river. Do we agree or not? Seasonal rain-fed river. तो ये मेरा एक natural resource हो गया कि नहीं हो गया? Would I say that or not? True. I would also say कि उसके बाद हमने natural से फिर man-made कर लिया, and then यहाँ पर based on those natural resources इसको हमने cotton, sugarcane, soya, corn, millets के लिए use किया. Natural resource going on. True. Now I would also say on the western side of it, ये जो western side है, remember the western fringe of it. What is this? ये तो western घाट है ना भाई लोग. Yes or no? Western Ghat is a natural vegetation. Is that a natural resource or not? Yeah, but Western Ghat is not Deccan Trap. Well, it is the edge of the Deccan Trap. Is it not the edge of the Deccan Trap? Western Ghat is spread across 5 states. In Karnataka, Western Ghat is crystalline, and in Maharashtra, Western Ghat is basaltic. Can I say that? Get that? So can I say these Deccan Traps have got eroded, and in the highland regions of Ajanta, Satmala, and especially on the western side where they form the Sahyadris, we have plenty of natural vegetation. Is it a resource? Is it a resource or not? I'm saying soil resource, vegetation resource, natural resource I'm talking about. Get it? Third is important is the rivers. Narmada flows through the Rift Valley. This Rift Valley has disclosed coal reserves in this area. Coal reserves भी तो यहीं पे आएगा भाई. ये तो इसी में माना जाएगा. True or not? Parts of it. Can I say that? Parts of it. In fact, Deccan Trap may, if you remember, those black soil even get eroded and it goes into Malwa also. ये part तो Malwa plateau. Malwa is also there. In its vicinity, we can get coal here, oil and gas over here. So petroliferous we have. True or not? Coal and petroliferous region. Do I have resources? I'm talking of a 10 marker. I'm creating an answer. भाई कहाँ से मैं गोल्ड लाऊंगा मुझे बताओ तो. कौन गोल्ड कह रहा था भाई? कौन सा गोल्ड आ गया अभी? कहीं चीता के साथ गोल्ड भी निकला. हाँ, उससे मुझे याद आया चीता से. वाइल्ड लाइफ कैसे भूल गए तुम लोग? वाइल्ड लाइफ इंपॉर्टेंट बायोडाइवर्सिटी रीजन, इंपॉर्टेंट वाइल्ड लाइफ रीजन हैगा या नहीं हैगा? इज इट और इज इट नॉट? नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज की बात कर रहा है. नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज में डेफिनेटली दिस इज नॉट मेटालिक, बट आई वुड से beneath these basaltic rocks lie the crystalline rocks of Dharwad, Kadapa types. Yes or no? Can I say they have been overlain by that? So deep inside there can be crystalline shield deposits also. Am I talking sense? मैंने मैप भी बनाया आपके लिए. Did I make a map? Natural resources की बात हो रही है, and we can very well talk about all these things in this answer. आयरन स्टील अभी मुझे समझ नहीं आया, बट अगर लगा दिया है तो कोई रोक नहीं सकता। सर मैंने रिसेंटली सुना है सर, मुंबई में सर वो मिनी स्टील प्लांट लगा है सर। हेलो, मिनी स्टील प्लांट, इज इट ड्रॉइंग द नेचुरल रिसोर्सेज फ्रॉम दिस रीजन? आर मिनी स्टील प्लांट्स बेस्ड ऑन दैट? If we have some Visakhapatnam is a port which is based on import based, would it be based on the local resources? Yes. ऐसा नशा ना करें। तो इस तरह के ideas, when you give me such ideas that there is gold in this Deccan lava, that's right. अच्छा, why did someone talk about Deccan lava as this? क्यों किसी ने ऐसा बात किया? Because for many people, Deccan Plateau is same as Deccan lava trap. I hope you get that it is wrong. Deccan Plateau is entire peninsular Deccan. Yes, and Deccan trap is only that lava one. In fact, since it is volcanic, have you heard of some geothermal energy also here? Have you heard of जलगांव and तत्तापानी? ये मैंने पढ़ा है क्लास में, जलगांव and तत्तापानी. Yes, डालिए इसमें. Do we have 4-5 points to give answers? Do we have diagrams? Can we say ridge valley topography has been created over here? Can we make these Deccan traps? अब अगर ये नहीं है तो फिर GIDG में आपके लिए कोई जगह नहीं भाई. That I want to be a geography informal discussion group where I can like generate very good answers for geography भी, geography का content भी. That's like अगर आपको यहाँ पर gold दिख रहा है तो ठीक है, मुश्किल है बट Big series Cretaceous basaltic lava. Lava has resulted in erosion. This is called Deccan trap. Generally semi-arid. The thickness is not consistent. You remember Deccan when we are talking about black soil. Black soil, one is the mountain soil, other is the valley soil. Valley में the soil is thickness. Valley में the soil is thick, but on the slopey areas it is thin. It is also called the regular soil, large amount of clay content. It is sticky when wet. The Deccan lava trap has where humus is nearly non-existent in soil. Soil is black due to, if you remember titaniferous compounds I told you, that is, it contains lime, retains moisture. So the soil ki quality, we don't need to write it. Soil quality need not be written. But did you get that? Ki Deccan lava trap mein natural resources kya hai? It was an answer on region number 23. So I'm saying your regions will come. They will ask you to drop your this thing. I was able to think soil, water, vegetation for this only. Okay, you were able to think 3 things. For more marks, I am very sure energy resources to आने चाहिए. Coal आ गया, geothermal energy आ गया, oil and gas थोड़ा बहुत इसी area में. So we are looking at this. So we cannot deny that. That has to be there. Is everyone okay? So these are geochemical provinces also. We must have them. And brainstorming से आएगा. Has to be brainstorming. Did I stretch my imagination to the western parts of Western Ghat also? Why would you, Neeraj, not think of wildlife? है ना? मोदी ने कह दिया हम तो चीता छोड़ते हैं. चीते से कम तो छोड़ते नहीं मोदी. छोड़ो तो चीता छोड़ो, चीता से नीचे क्या छोड़ा? True. So our film stars are busy promoting गुटखा और बाकी चीता कर ही रहा है. वो हमारी मीडिया दिखा रही है हमें कि चीता क्या क्या कर सकता है, चीता भी पीता है, क्या क्या पीता है, कब पीता है, किसके साथ पीता है. So all those things. आप पीना बंद करें, आप brainstorming करेंगे, so you'll get your answers. I hope we had a good answer at hand. And everyone, do you see, when I asked you how is the question, you said, easy sir, कभी भी कर सकते हैं. Do you realize that there is a need to brainstorm? Do you realize those coaching institutes were saying हमारा आया Deccan trap? अबे सुन, Deccan trap तूने क्या पढ़ाया था, पूछ क्या रहा है? Do you get that? Did I give you the names also कि यहाँ पे तत्तापानी लिखोगे, जलगांव लिखोगे, यहाँ पर you can talk about these ranges, you can talk about more thick black soil, thin black soil, the Western Ghats, you can talk about Sahyadri, you can talk about other things also. Yes. और आपको अगर forest लिखने हैं तो forest भी बता रहा हूँ. Generally moist deciduous and dry deciduous. Moist towards the wetter side of it, dry deciduous towards this side of it. So that's going to be there. और जब और ज़्यादा dry की तरफ जाएंगे, when we go to the more semi-arid rain shadow, what will it go into? It will go into the bush forest. So that can also be included. So 3 types of vegetation. सारी चीजें वहाँ से link कर सकते हैं. You can also use the agroecological zonation. Examine the potential of wind energy in India. Explain the reason for their limited spatial spread. So can you see that even the examiner wants to? Examiner is not just asking like why they are not spread out. He's asking why this industry is not doing very well. He's asking why this industry is not spatially spread. So that's that. So do we have a potential of wind energy? So if you want the data, अब ये data अगर optional में नहीं मिलता है तो people were doing environmentics with me last year. जिन लोगों ने GS में मेरे साथ environment किया. Did we talk in detail about all the data, all the requirements, all the INDCs? अभी मैं कोई slide नहीं लेकर आया हूँ, but then we have already discussed this in my environment classes. Suppose you joined me from paper 2, it is very very important ये environment classes कर दीजिए. They are really going to help you after your geography class 6 o'clock. Environment classes will be going on. Get that? So please make sure you do that. So potential for wind energy में कुछ data भी देना पड़ेगा. True. And they are not talking of sun. Can you see solar energy? से थोड़ा सा they brought in a change. They brought in a change. Generally the focus is more on solar, but wind is a little more localized. So quickly, where is wind energy potential more? What comes to your mind when I say wind energy potential? Coastal regions, okay. सारे coastal regions. फिर वही बात है. Specific समझ में नहीं आएगा. So you have fever. Where is it? ये देखो दीपशिका, desert में. अरे भाई गुजरात, तमिलनाडु, राजस्थान, अगर ये नहीं आएंगे तो डेजर्ट रीजन ये करो, फिर मार्क्स बदल जाएंगे. The marks will be different. What the coefficients are saying arid and semi-arid. Who said arid and semi-arid? Who said arid and semi-arid? Marathwada, Vidarbha have got wind potential. Avishan, if I go by your logic, the rain shadow area of Maharashtra is having the highest wind potential. Do you want me to get that? I never taught you this. I don't know which WhatsApp university are you reading from. I never gave this. I never gave this. I'm very, very clear. We're talking about the regions. We have to talk about the regions, and the question is on spatial. So there are certain regions on land. Yes, definitely land and offshore, which is there. अब फिर बात वही है कि offshore कितना है. अब नया आप लोगों को पता चला offshore का कोई potential बताएं. How much is the potential offshore? People who are saying offshore, कुछ तो मुझे भी बताओ. That's what I'm saying. Like we know a few things. We all know a few things, and with those few things, we think we will be able to write answer. And right answer will come very, very late. Right answer will come very, very late. Okay. I'm saying prelims पास नहीं. ये देखो अंबुज ने मारा सर less than 30 gigawatt. Spatial question है वो 30 gigawatt बता रहा है. कहाँ पे भाई offshore में ये तो बता दो कहाँ पे. Anywhere you have read अंबुज offshore where in India कुछ तो बताएगा. But Gujarat and Tamil Nadu. Again, these are slides which I use in environment, so I have not uploaded it for you. So that is there. National Offshore Wind Energy Policy. This is natural. Policy has a target. Since we are talking about potential, yes. Onshore potential of India is 302 gigawatts. Yes. And apart from that, we have the national offshore. If you're looking for some data, 10 gigawatt wind solar hybrid that we are looking at, 10 gigawatt wind and solar hybrid potential that India has created. Onshore potential, that is what we have, very huge potential. And I will spot it with some data I have got for you. Idhar hai kya slide mein? Let me check. Yes. So India's wind energy sector, indigenous wind power, when we are looking at the expansion of, has resulted in a strong ecosystem. We are, right now at a very low potential that we are looking at. The country currently is the fourth highest wind installed capacity. 39.25 gigawatt in 2021 has generated this many units in this. So 39 gigawatts is there. And I said onshore potential itself is more than 300 plus gigawatts. So can I say onshore itself is a lot? जो लोग offshore करें. Government is promoting wind power project in entire country through private sector also. They have also brought in schemes like accelerated depreciation benefit. When it comes to the map, so when we are looking at wind potential, Gujarat has the maximum. Gujarat, then, and this is about, like at a height that we are talking about, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu. These are the leading ones. Get that? Interstate sale, these are the government schemes on that. Government schemes on this, and wind is an intermittent. So our question is what? What is the question? Examine the potential. So have I given you some data on this? The potential. Some data I've already mentioned for you. Apart from that, the potential has to be shown in spatial sense. So we will show the areas also. So you can see southern state, yes, 7 windy states of India: Gujarat, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh. Okay, these are the 7 windy states. Wind has a problem; it is intermittent and site specific. Okay, so there has to be extensive wind resource assessment before we go into that. The government, through National Institute of Wind Energy, has installed around 800 wind monitoring systems at different height. 50 meter height, 80 meter, 100 meter, 120 meter. The recent assessment indicates that the wind potential is 302 gigawatts in the country at 100 meter. and at a greater height it is 695. So we are more interested in 100 meter. 100 meter is a height, because as you go up your height changes, and remember the windmill will be at a height. So that is what we are talking about. So 302, the question is asking us examine the potential. So did I say 300 plus gigawatts? Should that be there? How much have we installed out of it? Can I say around 10 to 12% only? Get that? So it's a 10 marker. If we have not mugged it up, even that is okay. I'm saying 300 plus gigawatt to ye onshore hi hai. I'm saying apart from that, government of India has also got into offshore, and offshore is entire coastline. But as I want to tell you that offshore setting up of farms has technological challenges. That is why it has limited spatial spread. Do we get that? We have to explain the reasons. Why is it limited spatial spread, everyone? What did I use? Intermittent. It is not flowing all the time. Yes. Second is site specific resource. It is site specific and intermittent resource. So those are the limitations which are coming in the way. If you want to go further, I have also brought some more things. The market has concentrated in wind projects around Gujarat and Tamil Nadu. These are homes to strongest resource potential and lowest cost of land. So can I say land acquisition is also a very big reason for this. Do we get that, everyone? Not only the potential, we'll have to acquire the land also. So land acquisition, land cost will also be a very big challenge on that. So on this front, apart from the wind, the second parameter is this. India's track record, another thing which has been is that this installation has been very lumpy. There are inordinate delays in the project execution and have challenged the assumptions of the developers. Does it show in this figure? The potential, only 12% of that has been installed for harnessing. True. So I have some data also to support. Examine the potential and explain the reasons. So one is the resource itself is site specific. Resource itself is intermittent and site specific. It is not ubiquitous. Remember the term of Weber, ubiquitous and fixed. So in your answer, you can very well use this idea. Yes, the resource itself is fixed. It is not ubiquitous, and different areas have different potentials. So that is one thing which we are talking about. Second thing, when we said that apart from that, there is cost of setting up also. Cost of setting up, that has also been a big challenge. Yeah. Third is the installation has been slow and lumpy. And I also want to tell you the technology. The technology, when we are talking about, this is one place where US and China have already made inroads. US and China have already taken the advantage of an early start. So they have already looked into it. So when it comes to India, its own indigenous manufacturing is still costly. So as a result, the cost that goes into this is also a big challenge. And then when you have incurred all the costs, then due to COVID pandemic, supply chain constraints, the overall dues to electricity distribution companies, discounts have ballooned. And as a result, also the payments for renewable energy generators has increased by this thing in this compared to. So we are saying outstanding payments are also there. So later on, the distribution is also a big challenge for these areas. Everyone, do we get that? So can I say it is about affordability also? Which states are able to pay for that money? Is everyone with me? Any questions, please ask. Now tell me, we have done the 10 markers. We'll take a small little break and then we will go into the big answers also. So my question is, whatever was in the question, the questions may look easy. People who have written mains, you should ask them, how did the mains go? They would say it was easy to start. The question is easy to start. There is a hidden thing in this. The question is asking you the potential, so you'll have to talk in terms of potential, that this much is there, and out of this much has been harnessed, and these are the states, 7 windy states. So you should be able to make a map also. That is what we are saying, states with potential, and then you can say the entire coastline, entire 7,000 plus kilometer coastline, where we are talking about the offshore installation. Do we get that? So let's take a quick break. On this 10 markers, you can see there are challenge, competitive edge by solar energy, much cheaper. Yes, someone, we can always say that. We can always say that. Competitive edge. So there is no policy related to wind energy, can be a limitation. Why no policy to wind energy? We have the National Wind Solar Hybrid Policy. Abhi aayi. National Wind and Solar Hybrid Policy, Prashant. Check it. Abhi break mein check karna. And why have we brought it hybrid policy? Because remember the land cost is heavy. So why not use the same thing? Why not use the same thing for solar as well as wind? And a classic case study is Rajasthan, where because of this Great Indian Bustard, habitat has got shrunk in that also. So why would we not do that? Okay. We have national offshore wind policy and other things also. I mean, sir, delayed in making such policy. Dekho bhai, Prashant, I would say about the delay part which you are saying. The whole world is delayed when it comes to renewable energy. True. It is not that, like 70 साल से कुछ नहीं कर रहे थे, अभी आया चीता और policy. So we can't say that. But we have a policy in place. Clear? So it's 16:16. Let's have a break, small little break. 16:26 में मिले. Then we look at the 15 markers, which may look easy. What are we going to do in that? Okay, so see you after the break. Quickly be back. ओके, स्नेहा ने कुछ शेयर किया है, क्या शेयर किया है स्नेहा ने? So Sneha has shared, I think, a slide which I used in my class or somewhere else. National wind solar hybrid policy, national offshore wind energy policy, offshore entails the data collection. Get that? तो ये श्रेया, सॉरी स्नेहा, ये किस में दिया है मैंने? Where was this given? No, this is not the optional class. No, this is not in the optional class. ये environment class में बताया. And this is in the GS environment class. अच्छा, resources में बताया. Okay. So optional की class में resource में भी बताया. Optional में resource में. तो भाई जो भी कह रहा है कि पॉलिसी नहीं है, पॉलिसी तो यहाँ पर है, मैंने पॉलिसी में भी बताया, वैसे भी बताया. सो पॉलिसी इज देयर, ठीक है. ऑफशोर पॉलिसी 2015 में आई थी, EEZ वाली, एंड विंड एंड सोलर वाली 2018 में. सो दिस इज वेरी मच देयर. पॉलिसी का लेट नहीं लिख सकते, डोंट यूज दैट पॉइंट दैट वी हैव ब्रॉट इट लेट. इज एवरीवन ओके? चलिए. सो एवरीवन प्लीज रेफर टू योर रिसोर्स नोट्स आल्सो. और फिर ऐसा हो जाता है ना, इतनी देर में तो यार ये उसमें चला जाना चाहिए, किसमें? टेलीग्राम पे. सी माय क्लास नोट्स, यू कैन टेल इट हैज कम इन द एग्जाम. मुझे ही नहीं ध्यान रहता मैं क्या पढ़ा रहा हूं. ट्रू. Imagine the teacher does not remember whether he's taught in GS, this thing, or in optional. But I will put it on the Telegram. See, I told you in the class, now you are responsible. तुम लोग पास नहीं हो रहे. True. हर क्लास के लिए I prepare for my every class as a fresh class here. But it continues. ठीक है. चलिए, तो ये हो गया. हाँ, क्वेश्चन नंबर अब क्या आ गया? अच्छा, ये वाला एक क्वेश्चन तो लिखो यार तुम लोग. ये नहीं लिख सकते because some of you have joined me from paper 2, no? So you don't know this answer. ये तो हमने बहुत क्लास में बहुत डिटेल में किया कि नहीं है? Forces that influence ocean currents. True. फिर वो सब तो क्लास में किया. And I was just telling, like imagine everyone. You read your 10th standard science book. You read your 10th standard maths book. You read your 10th standard civics or history book, and it came in the exam. तो books ही तो आएगा यार. The topic will remain the same or not? If it is about world geography, if it is about world wars, it will come from world war. Imagine the advertisement they put. हमारे नोट से आया, तुमने बनाया था, अचानक बनाया था क्या? इधर उधर से पेपर था. True or not? But funny thing. But anyways, I think the bigger question in this is, now we are on 15 marker. No, everyone describe the role of fishing industry. दो पार्ट है. पहला तो ये भी हमने फाउंडेशन में किया है. रोल ऑफ फिशिंग इंडस्ट्री इन वर्ल्ड, sorry, describe the role of currents in fishing industry. नहीं, oceanography में किया. I think oceanography we have done this. So that is the paper 1. So many of you are from paper 2, so you may not have done this with me, but ये हमने paper 1 में we have discussed in detail what is fishing industry, what is the role of this thing, and all those things. So influence of ocean currents. अब इसका just to give you a hint for people who have done paper 1, उनके लिए, remember the factors we had classified. The factors were to do with, I think, Earth's rotation, then outside the ocean, inside the ocean, and coast का कुछ था ना, shape and something of the coastline, nature and shape. हाँ बिल्कुल समर्थ, we call them the modifying factors. Yes, you remember that. And then Earth's rotation, if you remember, I think इससे Coriolis आता है. Coriolis force, centrifugal force, and all those things. Yes, Earth's rotation. We were also talking about tidal force in this. Tides causing something, tidal force and gravity. Outside the ocean, I think evaporation, precipitation, temperature, insolation. Inside the ocean, also the salinity, the density. You remember this. I just want to tell you, because this is a long answer. This is the long answer, just to tell you that to get marks, there should be diagrams in this, and you should write for 2 pages on this. 2 pages लिखना है इस पर. The answer should be for 2 pages, explaining each with diagrams. Remember, time is a challenge. Content will be there. Content will always be there. Modifying factor, I hope you remember. एक example मैंने दिया था क्लास में, that when the equatorial current comes here, it branches into 2 parts. Yes, remember Antilles current and the Seine current, and then this one comes and joins to form what? Gulf Stream. So it was the islands which were creating that Antilles current and Seine current. People who have not done this thing, paper 1 with me, so don't worry. When I'm doing that, आपको ठीक है, बिल्कुल सही कह रहे समर्थ. The similar thing happens to Brazil also when the southern equatorial current strikes, and this is because of the coastline we get the Brazil current. Perfect. So coastline के example inside the ocean, I think we talked a lot about the salinity. density, and I would also want, if you are a smart student, इधर आपको डालना चाहिए thermohaline circulations. So you gave this in GIDG answer booklet also. हाँ तो ये तो सारे आए ना, तो I'm to discussing them ना स्नेहा. So this GIDG answer booklet, if you send me a message, if you are not in MMP 2023 and you still want to try writing answers for GIDG selection, you can send me. I think एक message मेरे पास आया, किसका है? Somebody has requested, so can you please send me the booklet? Neeraj has requested, so Neeraj, I will send you after the class. ठीक है? और दीपशिका ने भी लिखा है CIDG. CIDG is GIDG. कितना तगड़ा नाम हो रहा है ना? Geography Informal Discussion Group. I don't want to make it formal. It has to be informal, whatever we are learning. Okay. Suddenly my newspaper mobile news is showing Kuno Palpur पहले दिन चीतों ने किया भैंस के मीट का नाश्ता. So in breakfast, the cheetahs had buffalo meat. Imagine what news media is doing. Thankfully, they only talked about breakfast. They did not say what they did in the potty on day one. This is what Hindi media is doing. Imagine Hindi speaking bed. Remember EAG group? उसमें बता रहा है कि पहले दिन नाश्ते में क्या खाया. जो इंदौरी पोहा भिजवा देते खा लेता हूँ. So for those who don't have paper 1, can we write about forces by just describing the primary? So everyone who's joined me from paper 2, yes, if you've not done paper 1, don't worry, the topics that you have covered in the class, वो लेकर लीजिए. Sneha is saying no shame on their rank. I don't know. Imagine media is telling us what they had in breakfast and that too. And they call themselves media. And I want to tell you, it's a little sad, but don't take it that way. Many people who join media are former UPSC aspirants who did not clear the exam. They did not even know how to read newspaper. And now they are making news. You can imagine बेरोजगारी क्या करवा रही है उनसे. I hope you are not one of them. You really reach your dream. Work for it, यार. Whatever it takes करते हैं ना. Whatever it takes, make sure you do that. Get that? समत बोला सर अभी लंच भी आएगा. समत कोई भरोसा नहीं है. मोदी जी बोले चीतों का कल से फास्ट है. देश के लिए चीते एक दिन के लिए उपवास पर हैं. सब अपने कर्तव्य करो. सारे छात्र जितने भी हैं, सभी लोग, अगर आप नेशनलिस्ट हो तो 8:08 पे फास्ट शुरू करोगे और कल फास्ट है, आप भी रखेंगे, चीता भी रखेगा. और मैं तो रख ही रहा हूँ क्योंकि मेरा तो जन्मदिन खत्म हो गया. Imagine what media would take us to. चीते ने नाश्ते में क्या खाया. And I'm very sure some telegram groups will also capture this. And when the exam is done, they will say everything came from our notes. Yes. So I went to you go to these Gulf countries, okay? Saudi Arabia, the news channel is only about what the king is doing. Morning to evening, wherever the king is going, everything this. It's very sad that our media is choosing to do that. If they are choosing to, or if the king has touched the cheetah, तो cheetah ने नाश्ते में क्या खाया तो ठीक है, बताया क्या पिया ये नहीं बताया. Beverages में क्या ले रहा है cheetah ये पता नहीं चल पा रहा है. And if you remember the ecological part of it, because of the habitat fragmentation, if you talk to any ecologist, central India habitats have been so fragmented that they are not appropriate for a viable population of even tigers. एक viable population of tigers के लिए जितना region चाहिए वो भी नहीं है कई जगह पर because of habitat fragmentation. I've already given you examples. Now bringing cheetah is not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. It's not about their breakfast, lunch and dinner. Yes. Okay, so everyone, we were talking about that question on. I need to upload. I think just a minute. I'll upload the second part of the discussion. Today's discussion. 15 markers. And everyone, we got 8 cheetahs, no? True. Are we planning to keep them 8 only? From 8 they should mate. No, from 8 they should mate. And after they mate, they should become 16. True or not? They should mate again. They should become 32. Do we want that to happen or not? Yes or no? But if Amar Ujala is watching, then how will they mate? अगर अमर उजाला उनका खाना भी देख रहा है, पीना भी देख रहा है, जीना भी देख रहा है, कैसे करेंगे? This we did to tigers, all in camera. True. छोड़ दे यार चीता को, कोई तो प्राइवेसी दे दे. बताओ, no life यार. अमर उजाला पहुंचा हुआ खाना क्या खा ले? And imagine that dancing reporter who would be there, पिंजरे में जाकर. Yes. हाँ बिल्कुल, kept in a big boss house, big boss का घर है. Now you know who's the big boss. Big boss चाहते हैं कि अब आप बच्चे पैदा करें. अमर उजाला reporter will cover. Yes. उसके बाद क्या होगा? One day these cheetahs will have their way. They will eat the Amar Ujala fellow and then they will mate and then they will be happy. अमर उजाला पहुंचा है, क्या खा रहे हैं नाश्ते में? ये भी बताएगा नमक के साथ लिया या नहीं लिया. So are we done with this? Describe the role of fishing industry. I think fishing industry a huge role when we are talking about in this map. Should we say current mixing regions should also come? Not only the mixing regions, can I say upwelling regions? And since they're talking about role, everyone, would it be smart that you can say that if El Nino happens, it can have adverse impact of currents? Can we say that? Would you also say that the slowdown of thermohaline circulation in Atlantic Ocean, remember AMOC पे मैंने class लिया है, AMOC will have detrimental effect on the fishing industry over there. True? Can we do that? So आपके पास case study होनी चाहिए. El Nino is also case study, AMOC is also case study. So generally you tell us, what their role is. They facilitate it. And how do they facilitate it? Remember, upwelling brings what? Minerals and nutrients. What does mixing do? Better aeration of water. As a result of better aeration, more phytoplankton, more zooplankton, more fish, and more fishermen. So fishing industry. Is everyone okay? Specific लिखेंगे. The more you write specific, the more marks you're going to get. Let's come to this. Describing the distribution. Rubber producing countries and major environmental issues faced by them. So remember, rubber, when we are talking about, originally came from where? Brazil. Perfect. What is it? It is the latex of the tree. Natural rubber. It is the latex of the tree. True. Is it a plantation? Oh yes, it is a plantation also. Can I say from our understanding of agriculture and crops, it is going to be a tropical, subtropical crop? Can I say it is going to be a tropical and subtropical crop? Perfect. Do I get some address? Remember the GC Leong map of equatorial region and the monsoon type. That is going to solve our problem. Equatorial region is the equatorial. Then we go into tropical, subtropical. North America will be that Isthmus of Panama and Mexico. Everyone, should it be there? Isthmus of Panama and Mexico in North America. Brazil in South America. Is it okay? Let's come to Africa. Equator को छोड़ देते. थोड़ा सा ऊपर जाते हैं. Yes. Do we have these Nigeria, Guinea, Ghana coast and Ivory Coast, Ghana? Can it be there? Similarly, same distance. South में भी आ जाए. Let's come to East Asia, Southeast Asia. Those Indonesia, Malaysia will come into the picture. They're already big producers. थोड़ा सा ऊपर जाएंगे. Slightly ऊपर इक्वेटर से जाएंगे तो थाईलैंड, लाओस, कंबोडिया, म्यांमार, इंडिया, बांग्लादेश, श्रीलंका. They will come. True. इधर और गए तो चाइना. मैप तो बन गया. Describe the distribution of rubber producing countries. You said you don't know it. Everyone, are you with me? How did I make it? Right, there is no denial that the crop agroclimatic. If a geography student cannot think agroclimatically, then he's stuck. No. I'm saying tropical, subtropical belt of the world. What is that belt? This is that belt, if you ask me. Let me continue here. What will come? Africa bhi aa jayega. What will come? India. So this will come. Should this be or not? मेरे लिए तो रबर यहाँ होना चाहिए. So some people said it's not known, but ये है ना rubber producing countries. अच्छा, remember natural rubber that cannot be stretched, it breaks. So हमने उसके लिए एक प्रोसेस किया. क्या बोलते हैं रबर को क्या किया जाता है? To give it strength. What chemistry term is this? Vulcanization. तो क्या करते हैं उसमें? सल्फर डालते हैं, I guess. Is it sulfur? And is it given the example as an example of serendipity? People who do not know what is serendipity. Serendipity is accidental discovery. So by mistake, some sulfur was dropped on this thing, rubber, and it acquired all those properties. Okay. So can we say rubber and then vulcanized rubber, synthetic rubber, all those varieties also there? Now, if I'm looking at the latex, I understand latex is there. But if I'm adding chemicals to the latex, will it add pollution? Chemical pollution? Water bodies? Yes or no? To extract it, when you put it in water, there is organic material also. Organic as well as inorganic. If organic material is there, will it play with the biological oxygen demand, eutrophication? I am in your position. I don't know the answer. I'm doing the brainstorming based on what I know. In the examination, you will be forced to do this. Will you be able to do this on the day of the exam? कर सकते हैं तो काम बन जाएगा. That is what I'm suggesting. Is everyone with me on this? मैप बनाना, मैप भी बना दिया आपके लिए. Let us look further. ये है ना कुछ. Rubber has properties heat and abrasion resistant, make rubber a highly useful, valuable raw material and use tires, scrap tubes, adhesive, hoses, gaskets, and this thing. And this definitely, rubber can be natural and synthetic rubber also. Okay. Properties such as weather resistant, insulation property, flexibility. It has many industrial applications like belts, elevators, and non-flat belts. That's that. Rubber is classified into natural rubber and synthetic rubber, as we're talking about by application. These are the areas where it applies geographically. It can be analyzed across North America, Asia Pacific, Latin America, Middle East, and Africa. These regions are categorized. What is the question? Describe the distribution. Tell me out of the 3 points which is more important. Out of the 3 points, which is more important to this question? Third point. Straight away come to third point. For the introduction, you can always create. Rubber is becoming an indispensable raw material for us. It has widespread industrial uses on account of its properties like this. Let us discuss or let us look at the spatial distribution of rubber producing regions and countries. Regions मैंने आपको बता दी, countries ये निकले. So everyone, where is the equator? Equator. Where is Tropic of Cancer? Tropic of Cancer and 30 degrees. Let us take 30 degrees. Is it 30 degrees? Is the same also 30 degrees? Get that? We want tropical, subtropical, tropical, subtropical, and moist also. Should it be moist or not? It should be moist also. True. So Brazil is one. At equator, Ecuador, Mexico. Is it okay? Everyone, is it okay? Either what did I say? Nigeria, Ghana, Ivory Coast, chalega. And the equator part of it, the Central African Republic, Gabon, Congo, chalega. Let us come here. Indonesia, Malaysia, India, Myanmar, Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, and China. Job done. Australia, it is not there. You know, it is mostly arid and semi-arid, so it is not happening over there. Everyone okay? Asia Pacific. Can you see this is Asia Pacific region? Asia Pacific region is the largest producer as well as the consumer. Thailand is the largest producing country of natural rubber, and China has been the largest consumer. Asia Pacific is expected to witness the highest growth in the market. Growth in automotive and construction industry is the key driver for India, China, and Japan. Is everyone with me? If you do not know who's the biggest producer, will it be a problem? Will it be any problem if you do not know which is the biggest producer? Will it be a big problem? Anyone? No, it will not be a big problem. But if you can conceptualize and make it this way, will it make sense? True or not? हो सकता है ना? अच्छी बात है. This is what the question was talking about. Sir, I slightly remembered reading about rubber cocoa plantation in our ICSE textbook. Same, I'm to saying, like you should be reading. You should be reading GC Leong. GC Leong में भी रबर की बात है. Yes. और अगर आपको करना है तो अपने स्कूल के बिल्कुल वो कर सकते हैं. ये तो NCERT के नेचुरल रीजन्स में है. NCERT will also give you. Everyone if you read. Sayam is from ICSE. People who are from CBSE. Even in that is there or not? Your 10th, 11th, 12th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th में ये मिल जाएगा. So I just want to say that it was not difficult, but yes, we unnecessarily will feel, oh my God, I don't know where is rubber producing. I simply wanted to tell you that this is called transference of learning. What did I apply? I applied my agricultural way of thinking in this. What kind of a crop it is and where will it be? And I found my answer. What will be the issues? Let us look at that. Despite numerous benefits rendered to modernization, it provides some serious problems. There is a problem of effluents coming from its operatives and wastewater content. This has led to biological oxygen demand going down. Ammonia एक बहुत important हो रहता है. Remember, ammonia is going to be there, and H2S also. Remember, sulfur also, vulcanization. Without proper treatment, discharge of wastewater, that's also true. High concentration of biological oxygen demand and chemical oxygen demand. People who do not know this, you should attend those classes on environment. So eutrophication. Get that? Acidic effluent, the effluent from latex rubber processing industry is acidic in nature. Different extent of acid usages are creating the pH variation. So water may turn acidic. That's also there. Describing the distribution of rubber producing countries indicate the major environmental issues. Take a question. Ammonia and nitrogen compounds. Most of the latex factories south of Thailand discharge wastewaters which contain high level of oxygen, nitrogen and ammonia. And by Thailand, can I replace it by developing world? True or not? So you can very well see that water problem is there. And then sulfur, remember for that we need for vulcanization, so latex concentration factories, high level of sulfates. Okay? And the process is that the biological anaerobic treatment system has high levels of H2S, hydrogen sulfide gas. And then there is a lot of odor. I'm sure hydrogen sulfide, if you remember, H2S, school में बताया जाता है, rotten egg smell. School में, if you remember, H2S means rotten egg. And people who don't know rotten egg, I simply want to tell you, drain, नाला जो होता है, नाले की smell is H2S. वहाँ सब H2S can be produced by many wastewater treatment. वैसे अलग बात है, वो H2S अगर आ रही हो तो आप ऐसे कढ़ाई को उल्टा कर सकते हैं और उसमें से गैस ले सकते हैं नाला की, and you can use it in a burner. ठीक है, अब कैसे ये मुझे नहीं पता, बट हो जाता है. Can be produced by many wastewater treatment processes. Most order of organic. So idea is air and water pollution. Air water pollution. That's what we are looking at in this. Everyone okay? Don't take this seriously. पता चला तुम सच में ये वाला गैस बना रहे हो, ऐसा मत करो. ठीक है, अब आ जाते हैं क्वेश्चन नंबर 7. एग्जामिन द सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ, जल्दी से बताओ, सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ स्ट्रेट एंड isthmus. So what is a strait? Everyone, what is a strait? Imagine one of the first classes of geography is about this. क्या मैं definition लिखवाता हूँ? It is a narrow stretch of land, water. Strait is a narrow stretch of water that separates two land masses or joins two water bodies. ऐसे कुछ है? What is this narrow stretch of land that separates two water bodies or joins two land masses? ऐसे कुछ है? If you remember, I think I give this example in North America. People who attended my foundation classes where I introduced some straits to you. A very famous strait is the isthmus, sorry, the very famous isthmus is this. Isthmus of Panama. Panama. That connects North America with South America. A very important strait that separates North America from Asia. What is this? Quickly. Bering Strait. So it connects two water bodies, Arctic with Pacific Ocean. Yes or no? What does it separate? It separates two land masses. तो ये तो आना चाहिए. अब इनका significance क्या है? Significance, trade. Everyone is talking about. So can I say that this has economic significance? And can I add something geo-economic significance? Yes. If you want to control it, you want to control the economy, you can make it geostrategic. True or not? Geostrategic significance, very important significance is. बहुत सारे एग्जाम्पल लेने चाहिए इसमें, तो मतलब I would say this is Denmark, this is Baltic Sea, this is North Sea. बीच में कौन सा स्ट्रेट आता है everyone? स्वीडन और डेनमार्क के बीच में, if you remember, स्कागेराक या काटेगट, स्कागेराक और काटेगट. So I want to tell you, it is because of this. It is because of this strait that Baltic and North Sea are connected, and the trade happens through this. And not only that, it is through this strait the mixing of water happens. So can I say the salinity also changes? Salinity, density, that also changes. Yes. A very, very important strait between France and Britain. Remember Dover Strait. It is called the entry point of Europe. The developed world ka trade is through this. Very, very important. Trade bhi hai, tourism bhi hai. Trade bhi hai, tourism bhi hai. Another one, Strait of Gibraltar. Africa में Morocco में यहाँ पर है. This place is Gibraltar. This place is called Ceuta. Gibraltar belongs to UK and Ceuta belongs to Spain, if you remember. Remember I talked about this somewhere in my classes, that how smartly, strategically, what Gibraltar is, Gibraltar should belong to Spain, but UK did not leave it, and this is what we are talking about. So Morocco ka region was taken by Spain as Ceuta as a control on that. Then I talked about Malacca Strait as the choke point of entry to the world of oil and gas to the West Asia. Similarly, Bab el Mandab Strait. Bab el Mandab कहाँ पे था? Africa का था. So we were talking about this. This is Bab el Mandab, very, very important. And इसी में अगर आप ऐसे आते हैं तो ये भी था हमारे पास कुछ. What is this? Strait of Hormuz. अभी आपने देखा होगा, Iran had attacked the tankers, US tankers on this. Geostrategic, geopolitical. बहुत सारे roles हैं इनके. ये समझ. This is India, East Coast, and this is the कौन सा peninsula? इसको बोलते हैं Malay Peninsula. Yes. China plans to dig a canal from here. China ने proposal दिया था canal, and this area is called the Isthmus of Kra. I think I mentioned that before also. This is the Indo-China Peninsula, where we have Laos, Vietnam, Thailand, Cambodia, and this is the Malay Peninsula. इन दोनों को connect करता है stretch of land, so Isthmus of Kra. बताइए मुझे, like if somebody says that sir ये तो इसके लिए content नहीं. I'm saying ecological roles also, strategic roles also, even the ocean currents. Remember straight से आता है ना, cold current, the कौन सा current आता है इसमें से? The Oyashio cold current. True or not? जापान वाला जो Oyashio आता है, नीचे से warm Kuroshio. So many things. आप बोलते यार इसके लिए कंटेंट नहीं है, ऐसा कैसे हो गया? Significance of strait and isthmus. Yes. So आरती ग्रैंड बैंक का स्ट्रेट है, isthmus से क्या लेना देना, ये बताइए. Current से उसके बाद वो बनेंगे, that's not there. I'm just saying ecological. No, you please understand. I'm talking about in terms of the thermohaline circulation, not just about fishing. So controls of a strait and isthmus helps in establishing good control over the shipping lanes. It helps in exploring the wealth that lies beneath minerals. भी. Remember this thing, the कौन सी स्ट्रेट बताई आपने ये हमारी? Bering Strait is full of oil. Huge oil reserves in this area. Countries which control over straits impose heavy charges. So it can also be taxes, levies. Yes or no? Panama, the country. So उनको transit charges होंगे. Marine commercial activities are there, and in fact communication and cultural exchanges through these connections. So Isthmus of Panama is a narrow strip of land that lies between the Caribbean Sea and the Pacific Ocean. Huge economic significance. Isthmus of Suez. Sir, Suez is not an isthmus. Well, if you want to consider that as also a land bridge through which that is there, a strip of land between Mediterranean Sea and Red Sea, it connects continents Africa. Though I have given you many more examples, that is there. Strait of Hormuz, as I told you, Persian Gulf and Gulf of Oman ko karta hai. It is the most important world oil trade. So 20% of the world's oil trade is there, and the control has always remained controversial between Iran, Oman, and other countries. Strait of Malacca, remember, Malay Peninsula and Indonesia ka Sumatra ke beech mein hai. Connects Asian economies and Pacific economies with that nearly 60,000 of the 94,000 merchant ships oil gas cargo carry annually over. very normal, तो बहुत ही ज़्यादा traded area. In fact, I also want to tell you that straits are always not easy. They are difficult to navigate. One example which I brought for you, Strait of Magellan is very thin waterway, or South America or Terra del Fuego के बीच में, I told you Francis Magellan was the first person to pass through this, and especially when it is very, very cold, it is very difficult to pass. So बिल्कुल लिख सकते हैं. Isthmus migration of animals and humans. अमन देखो यार, in the past you can say that in the geological past or in the anthropological studies, isthmus have been like a connection. So that ways you can say some anthropological significance of the past. Get that? So that is accepted. Troposphere is very significant. Come on, मतलब ये तो पहला NCERT class 11th आ गया कि नहीं? इससे ज़्यादा और क्या easy देगा यार? Highly significant layer and determines the weather phenomena. Why weather phenomena? Remember 90% of the water vapor and 99% of the dust particles lie in the troposphere. Remember that. It is very significant. It is called the weather sphere. Everything is happening. It contains 85% of the mass. It contains water vapor, which accounts for up to 1% of air, very spatially. So that is there. I told you 90% of the water vapor, and that is 99% of the dust. It has water and hydrological cycle also. Greenhouse effects are also happening. Chemical composition determines the quality, and that also keeps on changing. Evaporation नहीं होता, photosynthesis, respiration, human activities. It is important. What human activities in troposphere? Everyone? What human activities in troposphere? जल्दी से बताओ. अरे एरोप्लेन फ्लाई करेगा, क्लाउड सीडिंग करेगा, सब कुछ करेगा. सेम होगा एयर पोल्यूशन. अरे व्हाट एक्टिविटीज नॉर्मल, एयर ट्रैवल इज हैपनिंग इन दैट. बहुत सारी चीजें करते हैं. और अभी जो एक बात बताओ, वी वर टॉकिंग अबाउट विंड मिल्स, नो, एट व्हाट हाइट? 50 मीटर, 100 मीटर, 300 मीटर विंड मिल. डालो ना. क्या आंसर किया जा सकता है कि नहीं? So everyone, I'm inviting you that you can send me a message on whatever number you've been using for me. उस पर टेलीग्राम पे भेज दो कि सर I'm not a part of MMP but I want to write these answers, so you have time till tomorrow. कल शाम तक आप दे दो. 6 PM निकल को क्लास में. 8 PM tomorrow. 8 answers. कभी भी उसके बारे में have I discussed? I have not discussed it with the MMP people. You have the advantage that I have discussed also. So you can submit to me directly by 8 PM tomorrow. उन लोगों के लिए हम ये वाले 15 markers आज डाला है, 10 markers tomorrow we will put them. So they have been given a deadline of 12 PM. You have a different deadline. Everyone okay? So though this was a class on contemporary issues, I thought, like when the paper has come, why not discuss that? So I'll be bringing more whatever is left. I think pollution and environment related things are there. Again, an announcement tomorrow 6 PM environment batch begins. If you've done environment, it is always good to revise that. याद नहीं रहता, एक ही बार में उड़ जाता है. Get that? So for me also, when I do my environment classes, it's a very big revision for me. So we should be doing that. Thank you. I'll see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock. Bye bye. Take good care of yourself. And you can send me the message so that I can pass on the answer booklet. Answers are to be written only in the answer booklet, so you'll have to get a photocopy of that or a print out of that. Sorry. Bye bye. Take care. और शाम को पता कर लेना चीता ने खाया क्या.